What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Call Her Creator, the podcast where I show you how to turn your passion into profit. I'm going to help you go from 9 to 5 to 9 to thrive. I'm Caitlin Rhodes, also known as Social Marketing Queen over on Instagram, and this podcast is powered by Stan. In case you missed episode number 1, I went ahead and walked you guys through how to optimize your profile for 2024 so that you can attract the right audience. We went through what your bio should say, what your story highlights should look like, what content you should be posting and content pillars, and then the rule of 3, which is my favorite, where you can take one reel and post it into 3 different reels. So if you did not catch episode number 1, make sure you go back and listen. If you are new here, please hit the subscribe button. I want you guys to know how much I value you being here. If you need to talk to me, you can head over to my Instagram page, Call Her Creator, or Social Marketing Queen, and we can get the conversation going. So today's episode, I get to walk you guys through all of these amazing tools that I use to help me monetize my own passion. There was a beginning where Social Marketing Queen lost thousands of dollars because she didn't have a strategy in place. She, as in myself. I did not have a strategy in place. I didn't have any systems in place. And if I would have been using some of these tools that I'm about to talk to you guys about, I know that I wouldn't have made this mistake of losing thousands of dollars, but you live and learn. And at least I'm here to teach you guys how to not do what I did as an early creator. So from scheduling your content to AI tools to your Stan store, we're going to go through all of that today. I'm going to share my favorites with you. If you would like to find all of these tools, I've put them on a blog for you and I've linked them in my bio. So you're welcome to visit that link if you want, my top social media tools. But let's get into it today and let's talk about it on the podcast. So before we get started, I want to start these podcast episodes out with a new feature or update that's going on in social media. And right now there is a new feature over on Instagram. So last week, we touched on the Notes app that you guys are seeing in the DMs. If you've seen a little, story highlight with a chat bubble on top, that is the Notes application on Instagram. Well, now they're testing a way to put the notes over on your profile. And these notes would be from your visitors or your followers. So it's not official, but they are testing this on some accounts. What's going to happen is there will be like a little notes emoji icon on your profile. And then people that you are mutually friends with, like you follow them, they follow you, it's a mutual connection. They're going to be able to leave a note on your wall. Now, I think that this could be pretty cool for business owners and creators because I feel like you could talk with your VIP clients per se and say something like, hey, if you'll just go leave your success story over on my wall so other people can see it, I'll offer you 50% off our next coaching call or something like that. I think there's a lot of different ways business owners could use this feature to help their business thrive. Now, at first, when I heard about this feature, I was kind of worried like, oh God, people could write whatever they wanted on there. But because it's only allowed by people you follow and people that follow you back, I think that will steer us in the right direction to where you're not getting a bunch of bad comments from trolls or anything like that. It's just people that you are friends with that are able to leave something on your wall. And I don't know if this is going to age me or not, but there used to be this thing called X Page. And it would allow you to write things on people's walls. Now, the thing with X Page is that it was not your mutual friends. Anybody could leave a comment on your wall and that could be good or bad. So I don't know. It's just giving me vibes of that. X Page came out before MySpace. But it was just one of those social media networks. I think I was in I was in 6th grade when X Page was out. So that's been a long time, but fun times. It's so funny when all of these social networks take bits and pieces from older social media networks. It just shows that like we're evolving, but things don't recreate the wheel. And I that's something I touch on and preach all the time. Do not recreate the wheel. There are ideas out there. There are things out there that are already working really well, and we just need someone like you to make it better. So, all right. So without further ado, let's get into my top social media tools that will help you streamline growth and be consistent with your posting for 2024. Now, I'm going to keep it real with you guys and just give you a little story before we get started. So, my creator journey was fun, but also very nerve-wracking. I lost thousands of dollars when I first started as a creator, and this is something that I don't want you guys to do. So I'm going to explain to you what happened and how to avoid it. So when I first got started, I put out an ebook. It was a Reels challenge because at the time Reels were just popping off. Some people didn't know how to create them. Some didn't know how to record them. So I came up with this ebook that allowed you to learn what a Reel is, how to use effects, how to edit, and then 30 days of Reels challenge. I actually still have this freebie up on my website. Well, at the time I was charging $25 for it, but now it's free on my Stand store. So you can grab it yourself. If you're not comfortable with Reels yet, try this challenge. I promise it will help you get into the groove. But back then, I had my Reels challenge, but I didn't really have a way for people to buy it. So I don't even know if Stan was a thing when I first started creating because I think they reached out later on. So there wasn't Stan for me to use. I was using my Dubsado, which is a client management, like a CRM system. So what would happen is I had like this button, so dumb. I had this button in my bio and they could purchase the Reels guide. What that would do is it would allow them to click on the button to get the Reels guide. It would then email them an invoice. Then they had to pay the invoice. Then it would send them the Reels challenge. And it was so dumb and so drawn out. And honestly, like by the time people said they wanted to buy my Reels challenge to the time that Dubsado would send the invoice, like I had a lot of people fall off, obviously, of the buyer's journey. So it was just a terrible experience for my audience. It was a terrible experience for me. I'm telling you, I lost thousands of dollars because I didn't have anything set up. So one thing that we'll talk about today is how I changed that and how you can change that too, and how I did make my first $10,000 in my first 30 days of selling a digital download. So we'll get to that in a little bit. To begin, we're going to start with the goal in mind for you guys in 2024 is to become consistent and get out in front of as many people as possible so you can grow your following and sell more whatever it is that you're selling, digital products, coaching calls, memberships, whatever it is. I just want you to blow up in 2024. And this is the first way of doing that. And that is to be consistent. Now, the easiest way to be consistent is to schedule your content or batch create your content. Unless you're like a full-time creator, like it's hard for people to just post every single day. So when I first started, I obviously was still in my 9-to-5 job. So I had to find a way to post content during the working hours, but not do it while I was working. So what I would do is I would go into Canva and I would create these templates. I would brand them with my colors and my fonts and my logo. And I would just batch create a ton of carousels, static images. I would gather photos from my phone and I would get everything together for the month. And then I would go into Meta Business Suite and I would schedule it out. So the cool thing with Meta Business Suite is that you are allowed to link your Facebook business page to your Instagram business page or creator page. So the transition of you posting manually to posting through scheduling is just streamlined because you've got this system in place. So what you'll do is you'll go into Meta Business Suite and then you'll go into the business manager and you'll be able to plan out your content and schedule it through this little calendar. What it does is it allows you to upload the photo or the templates, whatever it is that you have, or the video, and then you copy and paste in your caption, and then you're able to schedule it to post on both Facebook and Instagram. This saves you a huge amount of time because you're not in there manually posting. It's already scheduled out for you and you did it all in one day versus every single day posting stuff. So Meta Business Suite was a huge game changer for me. It helps me to become consistent while I was still working, and it's a really great way for you guys to get your feet wet in posting while still maintaining the job that you're at. Now, it's very important to remember that when you are scheduling this content, you need to make sure that you're still engaging with your audience. So whether you put an alarm on your phone or, maybe you just go back in at the end of the day and answer comments, I want you to make sure that you're going in and replying to people, you're starting a conversation with them, and you're being present. Because the one thing with these algorithms on all of these social media networks, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, their goal is engagement. Their goal is to keep you on the app as long as possible. So if you're just posting and ghosting, it's not going to work. The algorithm is not going to favor your content. It's not going to favor your account, and those posts will just die. So you have to make sure there's a happy medium there. If you are scheduling your content, make sure you're still keeping up with engagement. That is huge. Key to growth is engagement. So once I started using Facebook Business Suite for a while, I had consistent posting out. I ended up leaving my 9-to-5, which we've got a dedicated episode for that coming soon. Once I started my social media agency and I had more accounts that I had to manage, I actually ended up moving over to Metricool for my scheduling platform. Now, Metricool is a paid platform. There might be like a free one if you're like a solo account, but because we're an agency, we have a bunch of accounts up in there. So I do pay on a monthly basis for this service, but I want to tell you guys a few things about Metricool that I love. First off, sometimes Meta Business Suite would fail to post some of my content and then it wouldn't alert me and I never knew. The thing with Metricool is if something fails to publish, I get an email immediately. So I'm able to, fix any errors that happen. That's one thing I'll say. Meta Business Suite just didn't give me any errors. It just like my content would go out into inner space. So I liked that about Metricool. I also love for Metricool, you can go in and you can click Facebook story, post, reel, Instagram story, post, reel, and post that all together seamlessly. And then the analytics on Metricool are amazing. So Facebook gives you a little bit of analytics. It will show you, both Instagram and your Facebook page. Metricool just gets a little bit more nitty-gritty with their analytics. You're able to see like your top performing post, the time of day that people are on. I have noticed Meta Business Suite will tell you optimal times to post, but what I've seen in the past is that the optimal post for Joe Schmo is the same time as Sam I Am. So I don't know if Facebook is actually giving us accurate information over there as far as the best time to post. Metricool, I can see every client has different active times. So I know I just trust it a little bit more over there. So that's why I choose Metricool over Facebook Business Suite. But again, if you're just getting started and you don't have the budget to pay for something, then Meta Business Suite is going to be your best friend to get started. That's fine. I also want you to know that you can schedule stories in Meta Business Suite. So if you're afraid of the camera, you don't get on stories too much, you can totally do like this very interactive story set. Go onto Canva and search for a stories template and create it, brand it, and post it, schedule it to your stories through Meta Business Suite, and you'll be gravy, baby. The next tool I want to talk about is some AI tools that I use on a daily basis as a Instagram coach. So the first one is ChatGPT, and I know everyone has heard of ChatGPT. So I'll tell you a little something about ChatGPT. When I first started hearing about it, I was very against the idea of artificial intelligence. I felt like it was coming for my job, but I want to have a mindset change with you guys. If you will just embrace AI, it's not going to take over your job. It's only going to help make your job honestly better. It's saved time for me. It's created stuff in seconds that used to take me a full day. So just embracing these AI tools is going to be a better business decision for you. So with ChatGPT, I actually used ChatGPT the other day to help me write an email to fire a client. So like there's so many things that you can do with that platform. The biggest thing with ChatGPT is that you need to give it context. A lot of people, get very generic answers from ChatGPT because they're giving ChatGPT generic information. So I want to just kind of dumb this down for you guys. Let's take, for example, that you are, let's say you're a singing coach and you want ChatGPT to help you write an email that you're offering 50% off voice lessons through spring break as a special, something like that. So what you would do, you would go in there and you would say, hi, I'm a singing coach that focuses on XX. I'm looking to offer 50% off my voice lessons. You have to make the payment by X date. Write me an email or write me a caption or write me a blog, whatever it is that you want. ChatGPT can do it because you gave it all the context that it needs. Now, ChatGPT might spit out some information that you like, but you want it to just get a little bit more detailed. You can always take that information that it's given you and ask it to go into more detail. Like the more context, again, that it has, the more that you're conversating with it over a certain topic, the better that it's going to get at understanding and giving you the information that you need about that. Another example is maybe you're a shoe designer. So instead of saying like, hey, we're having a special for the store to sell more shoes. No, you get nitty gritty. You say, hey, I'm a shoe designer. I'm offering 50% off Dolce Vita shoes. This discount is only valid for school teachers. Now you've got a very detailed offer there. So ChatGPT can work for you as good as you work for it, I guess. Another AI tool that I like is called Content at Scale. Now, this is a tool that helps you write 1,000-word count blogs that are SEO enriched. I believe that it's 2,000 words, but it might even be more. But we've started using Content at Scale at my agency to help us write blog posts just to keep it consistent and on a weekly basis. Right now, 2 of our top performing pages are blogs that were written by Content at Scale. So I like that pays for it in itself. I'm showing up on the Google search engines because of a blog post that Content at Scale wrote for me. Now you do have to pay for this service. I do have a link for you guys. It's an affiliate link, but if you click on it in my bio, you'll get like so many tokens towards a blog post if you want to try it out for yourself. You can try it. I believe you can try it for free, but it's going to blow your mind at how accurate the information is, how long the blog is, and how the SEO words, like your mind's going to be blown, because a normal human being that doesn't have a whole lot of experience in SEO, but they were hired as a social media manager, and I tell her to go write a blog post, she's going to write a blog post, but she's not going to have like Google's SEO tips in mind, whereas Content at Scale does. So highly recommend that tool. They'll also write you your title, your meta description, all that jazz. And in the nick of time, you don't have to do anything. My next AI tool that I want to talk about with you guys is from Flick. Now, Flick is a really great platform for creators, entrepreneurs, small business owners, social media managers. There's so many things that it does for you. Now, Flick used to just be a hashtag tool. It would basically crawl your hashtags that you were using on your page and tell you which ones are working and which ones are not working. It would help you understand which hashtags helped your post rank you. Like if you ever see that your post gets picked up and it's getting a lot of traction, more than likely it's getting shown in the Explore feed, or maybe it's going viral. The thing with Flick is that it can tell you if a hashtag helped you get there. So it will rank your hashtags, based on the numbers there. It does all this they've got their own little system in place where they can look at those numbers. So I use Flick for hashtags. But what I really love Flick for is their captions writer. Now, this is a new feature, semi-new, that came out last year. What you can do with Flick's caption writer is basically like give it an idea, and then it's going to write this very, optimized caption. It's going to break up your lines, use emojis. It's going to pull over hashtags, and it's going to write a caption based off of what you told it to write it on. Now, what's even cooler is that you can edit this caption. What you'll do is you'll go in and you can click your tone of voice. You can say if you want it to be from first person, third person, second person, whatever it is. And it's just, it writes you this really awesome caption, but then it allows you to customize it. Whereas ChatGPT might write you this real cool caption, but you're going to have to talk to it a lot to get it to do all these things, where Flick is just like move this button and change this button, and then it's changed around. Another really cool tool with Flick, I'm telling you there's a lot inside of Flick, is the repurpose tool. The repurpose tool allows you to take a blog post or a YouTube video or a social media post from Instagram or TikTok, and it will rewrite you something based off of that information. So imagine you took like a blog post and it rewrote it up and made you 6 new posts to post on social media to promote that blog post. That is saving you so much time. That's helping you get more content out, helping you be consistent because you've already got it done. And then you just go over to Meta Business Suite and you schedule this stuff out with your content. This is why I love these tools, guys. And this is why you can't stray away from, these new big shiny things that come out. I know a lot of us creators are a little on edge if they're going to work. Is it ethically wrong? But if it's going to save you time and help you grow your business, again, I think it's a really good business decision for you to embrace these AI tools. The next tool that I want to talk about is my favorite tool of all. This tool has helped me build a multi-6-figure business. It's called Stan. So Stan is your all-in-one digital store. People can basically buy stuff from you through this link that you put in your bio. So I'm just going to pull up Stan's website for a minute because I want to tell you all of the options that you have here. So when you pull up Stan, first you have to sign up. If you want to try it for 14 days for free, you can head over to my bio and I have a link for you. It's an affiliate link, but you will get 14 days for free to try it out on your own. Stan allows you to sell things and make money from it. And then it's connected to a Stripe account so that you get paid automatically. So you don't have to do anything. So if we back it up a little bit, remember when I told you guys that story where I was using Dubsado to invoice and then the buyer's journey, like these people were interested in my product, but by the time I delivered it to them, they either forgot about it or they weren't interested anymore. So Stan makes it super easy for you. Everything is right there. It's like a little digital store. You can personalize it with your own branding, upload your picture, all that jazz. If you want to see what one looks like, go to Call Her Creator on Instagram and just click my link in my bio and you'll see what my Stan store looks like. So Stan has a ton of products that you can sell. You can sell a digital download, which is what I sold in the beginning that helped me make my first $10,000 in my first 30 days. We'll get into that. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do there if you want to try that. There's membership, so you can get on a reoccurring subscription where they pay you on a monthly basis. External links, maybe you just want to link them over to a YouTube channel, so you can just click that in there. There's affiliate links. You can host a webinar. You can sell a course. I have a course right now on Stan and I really like it because it allowed me to upload the videos for the course and then you can also add in supplemental information like maybe you had a PDF guide or some slides from Canva that you want to add in there. You're able to do that with the course setup. And then of course there's booking a time on your calendar so you can sell a coaching call, sell your time. I will tell you, if you're looking to make your first 10K, the fastest way to probably do that is to book a bunch of coaching calls through the month. Those are more high ticket priced versus a digital download that's probably like $25 price range. So you got like $500 price range versus $25. You pick your poison. And then lastly, there is a lead magnet application. So what you can do there is if you don't have a digital offer yet, or you're not ready to give off, coaching calls, but you still want to start collecting emails so that you can start dripping on them later on, then set up the lead magnet. So what you'll do for that. So I'm about to walk you guys through 2 things. First, we're going to talk about a lead magnet and then we'll talk about our digital download. Both things are going to be done the same way. It's just we're going to monetize the digital download. We'll call that the ebook. And then the lead magnet is just going to be free. So let's start with your lead magnet. This is awesome. It basically is a little button in your Stan store that says enter your email and we'll send you the free download. So let's just say we're going to make a checklist for you. Those are super easy lead magnets. They're like 1 or 2 pages that you make based off of your brain and you give them to people in exchange for their email. That's what a lead magnet is. It's where you collect information from someone in exchange for something else. So I'm gonna let you guys steal my idea if you want to. I did an Instagram bio checklist. I'm an Instagram coach, so I wanna make sure you've optimized your profile. So here is your checklist. So maybe you're like a mental health coach, or maybe you are the singing coach that I said. The mental health could maybe be something like 10 free self-affirmations to start your new year off right. That's your lead magnet. For the singing coach, maybe it's 5 singing exercises to level up your voice for 2024, something like that. You guys know obviously more than me because you're the industry expert, but this is just examples. What you're going to do next is you're going to go into Canva. Now, I highly recommend a Canva Pro account. I will stand on that till I die. Canva Pro versus Canva Free. Canva Pro wins every time. You're going to get more access to more stock images. You'll get the background removal tool. There's a ton of effects that you can get. It's just way better. So get your Canva Pro and log in. Next, you're going to go to the little search bar in Canva and you're going to type in your industry keyword and then type the word checklist. And what that's going to do is Canva is going to give you a ton of checklist templates that you could choose from. So you can kind of scroll through and see which one makes most sense for you and your business. There's girly ones, there's masculine ones, there's techie ones, whatever makes sense for you and your business. Go ahead and click that template. Once you've got that template open, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to use your brand kit that you set up. Wink, wink. I told you guys how to set up your brand kit in episode number 1. Pull up your brand kit and we're going to go ahead and put in our fonts, our brand colors, and we're even going to add our logo down at the bottom. Now, the next thing is you're obviously going to go in and type in the content for the checklist. Now, if you're just getting started and you're like, Caitlin, I have no idea what to put for this checklist, no problem. You're going to go over to ChatGPT and you're going to say, hi, I'm a singing coach that is creating a checklist for my students to level up their voice. Please help me come up with the content for this checklist. And ChatGPT is going to write it all down for you. Now, you're going to take what ChatGPT says and you're going to paste it over into Canva. Now, the next step is very important. You need to go through and read exactly what ChatGPT said, and you need to edit that thing and make sure that it makes sense for you and your business and your personal flair of things, okay? Because ChatGPT could say something very generic and you want it to be in line with your branding, with your persona of who you are. So you need to go in there and edit it. Give a few quick tips, based off your brain that ChatGPT didn't come up with for you, and go ahead and customize that thing and make sure it's valuable, guys. Of course, this is a free guide. This is a free checklist, but you're still asking them for their email address, which is a very personal decision for them to give to you. So you need to make sure that your checklist is worth something. Okay. Don't make it be crappy. So once you have your checklist in place, you download it from Canva, and then all you're going to do is log over into your Stan account and upload that checklist. Now, what happens next is up to you, but if you're smart, you will start promoting the heck out of this lead magnet, this free checklist. You're going to post it in stories. You're going to post it on your reels as a post. Heck, you're going to post it for the next 7 days. We're going to hear about it. Whether it's, you could supplement it as a call to action. Hey, grab my free checklist. Or maybe the reel is based on, you need this free checklist that will let you do blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is, I want you to start promoting the crap out of that lead magnet. And what that's going to do is that's going to push people over to your Stan store. They're going to type in your email address, and in return, they get their free checklist. Now, what happens next with that is Stan starts collecting those emails. So now you are building your email list. So now you can start dripping on those people, okay? You can start, warming them up so that when your digital download comes available and you charge money for it, these people that you already brought in, they're going to be ready to buy from you because you've already warmed them up. So that's why a lead magnet, your checklist, your affirmation list, whatever it is, that comes first. Now, let's go into your digital download. So we're going to just say it's an ebook. I'm going to give y'all my real life example, but you guys can kind of brainstorm, while we're talking about this. My first digital download was the 30-day Reels challenge that I talked to you guys about. When I decided to do my digital download, I had it in my head that this was going to be the best offer that they had ever seen so that they would keep coming back to me for more. I never want someone to buy something from me and say, wow, that was crap. I'm never buying from her again. So you need to be very thoughtful of your audience and make sure that it is honestly worth what you're going to charge for it. So I kind of did some industry research. I knew that Reels were this big, new, shiny, bright object on Instagram, and I was killing the game with Reels. So I was like, why not offer this to my students, offer this to my audience, help them level up their Reels? So I spent some good time on this Reels challenge. I think it took me about 2 or 3 weeks to complete, but by the time I was done, it was this 16-page guide. Again, you guys can access it if you want. It's in my Sand Store, 30-day Reels challenge. But it was this 16-page guide filled with all the details they needed. And then at the end, I had my call to action. Need extra help with Reels? Book a coaching call. Maybe a coaching call is not for you. Join our membership. And so I already had them buying my digital download, and then I was further pushing that sale for them to buy a higher ticket item. So that's kind of what your goal is here when you are creating these offers. You want to keep selling over and over with other things too. You don't want that to be the end of their journey with you. So keep that in mind when you are creating these offers, like, hey, this could be their access point to me and my offering, and then it could lead them to X. And then you can get further down the road with that. So back to our digital download. Again, we can go to ChatGPT, or Stan has something called Ask Stanley. And what you can do, both of these platforms, you can go in there and tell them who you are and what you're offering, what you want, what pain point do you want to solve? And then it's going to go ahead and type out a bunch of stuff for you. Now, I always use this information that it spits out as my bones, because you've got the meat, okay? You're the one that has all the details, all the nitty-gritty tips and tricks that people don't know. ChatGPT and Ask Stanley might not have all those details, but you want to meet it up. You want to make it juicy for your audience. So I personally think that you should have like an introduction and maybe three big points that you want to make, detail each out, give some bullet points for each, give a real life example for each, and then obviously put in your conclusion. With Canva, you can type in like industry word, ebook. And then once you've got that in there and you've branded it and you pull over your information, there will be spots for photos or images or like stickers. I want you to really make this look good. So I do recommend a template that Canva already has if you're new, just because Canva has a very good eye for design. And then with the template, like, you'll know when you need to pull a photo over or something. I also want you to customize this thing with real photos of you, screenshots of, if you're an Instagram coach and you're talking about Reels, show them screenshots of your results. Or if you're a health coach, go ahead and show them before and afters of people that have worked with you, or maybe yourself. If you're just getting into it, you don't have students right now, show them your real life examples and what you did. Once you've got all of that in place, you can download that and save it to your desktop. Now's the hardest part of all of this, and that is pricing your offer. Now, I personally think that you should do some industry research and see what other people are selling, what they're selling it for, how many followers do they have, how long have they been in business, to kind of gauge the price point there. And then that will help you to price your own product. I do think that it's very helpful to see what other people are pricing their stuff as, because you want to stay competitive in the industry. If yours is like a crazy amount and they can go get the same thing from Lisa over here for half the price, you got to keep that in mind too. Now, don't sell yourself short either, because my Reels challenge might be a little bit more expensive than Kennedy's Reels challenge, because Kennedy's only been in the game for a year, where I've been doing social media for 15 years. So you can always gauge that as well when you're coming up with your pricing. Don't sell yourself short, ladies and gentlemen. Once you've got your pricing in place, you're going to go into your Sand Store and you're going to upload your digital product. And then you're going to go ahead and fill in like your title of your product, your subheading. Again, this is where I use ChatGPT. ChatGPT can just like really make my titles 10 times better and more detailed with adjectives. I'm not the best person with words, which is funny because I'm talking on this podcast, but if you need extra help coming up with like your sales copy, use ChatGPT, use AI, and stop trying to come up with everything on your own. Cut your workload in half. Use what will make your stuff better, obviously. Once you fill out the description and all of that jazz, you'll just publish, and then now you've got a digital product available on your store for people to buy. So you've already had your lead magnet out. You've got your digital download. Your lead magnet brought in 10 email subscribers. So now that this real digital download is readily available, you can offer that person a discount in exchange for a review of the product. So they're getting the discount, you're getting a review, and that will help you push this product even more. Now, aside from that, obviously you have to have your marketing strategy in place, and I want you to post a lot when you have something to go. I use something called Sales in 7 when I sell stuff here at Social Marketing Queen with Influence Marketing Studio. We are very big on talking about things over and over again. You cannot expect to sell your offer by posting it only once, because only a small percentage of your followers will even see your content. So make sure you're posting about it consistently. Make sure you're using good sales copy. Again, that's where you can use the tools like Flick to help you write really good captions that sell this stuff. But basically, all of these tools I've talked to you about today really all help each other. Like, if you're creating this content, you're batch scheduling it in Meta Business Suite or Metricool, you've made these really cool captions from Flick, and then your Stand Store is helping you make money. Like, this is all you need. You don't even need a website anymore. Like, I'm very big on websites. I have a website, but if you're just getting started and you don't have the budget, this is how you start making money without a website. One last thing I want to talk about here is, I talked about a lead magnet, I talked about a digital download, but coaching is a high ticket offer that you don't have to sell as many of them to make money very quickly. So if you are comfortable talking with someone one-on-one on Zoom, or maybe it's even a phone call, then a coaching call is going to be a good moneymaker for you. So what I recommend there, if you're just getting started with coaching, like, you can think of it like this. Like, imagine all of those people that are messaging you in the DMs. Hey, can I pick your brain? Hey, can I ask you a quick question? Like, instead of answering those people in the DMs, tell them, yeah, I'd love for you to pick my brain. Go schedule a coaching call and we can get started, and then make money off of that time that you're spending with this people. I know when I first started doing all of this, my coaching calls were $297 for an hour. Now I'm charging $799 for an hour. So you can, gauge your experience there. How long have you been in the industry? What do you have to offer? And then also think about, like, how many people want your services. Like, if there's a high demand for your services, then you can obviously make the price a little bit more. So that's going to get you to your first 10K very fast. Speaking of the 10K, I told you guys I made my first 10K in my first 30 days because I created that digital download and I posted about it consistently. What ended up happening is one of those reels where I was talking about my offer ended up going viral. So then I had like 3 million views on this reel, and a ton of those people converted and bought my Reels challenge from me. It was $25 a pop, and that's how I made my first 10,000. So it's not unattainable, guys. Like, I literally was a regular girl. I worked a 9-to-5 with corporate for a very long time. I also did freelance on the side. I don't come from money. In college, I could barely pay my rent. I got to go to school at the University of Florida through Florida Prepaid because my grandfather paid for it, and I had good grades, so I got some scholarships. So this is a girl that literally didn't come from a whole lot, but I built a multi-six-figure business because I put in the work. And that's what we have to do here. We have to put in the work. You have to go into Canva and create this stuff. You have to go do industry research to see how much you should be pricing for things. You have to do some of those coaching calls. I don't really do too much coaching calls anymore because I've built my business through other streams of income. I now have a membership, which I'll talk about in another episode. But in those earlier days, I was doing like 3 coaching calls a week. I was literally at capacity, but that's how I made my money, and that's how you can make your money too. All right, so in our next episode, I'm going to walk you guys through how I left my 9-to-5 and started my creator business, how I started freelancing that turned into a social media agency, and then I was an Instagram coach, and now I'm a full-time content creator, and I get paid to post reels. I get paid to handle people's social media, and I'm going to tell you everything I did to get there. So we'll talk about, how I safely left the plan I had in place, what I started doing immediately to make money and monetize, and then how I continue to build my following and sell more product and coaching calls and all that good stuff. So if you liked this episode, I really, really want you to press the subscribe button and subscribe so that you get alerted when we pull out another episode. I would love for you to head over to my Instagram page at Call Her Creator or at Social Marketing Queen and let me know, how are you feeling about the podcast? Is there something that you need me to touch on? Is there something that you're struggling with? Is there something I need to deep dive into? Let me know. I listen to my audience. I tell you, I do what you want me to do. So please start that conversation with me. And I will see you guys on the next episode of Call Her Creator. I'm Caitlin Rhodes, Social Marketing Queen, and I am out.